The Sports Scouting Report with Libra King. Brought to you by Medine's Collision Center in Baton Rouge. Take control, choose Medine's. Grosse Savant Lodge, south of Lake Charles, the true sportsman's paradise. Treads and Care Company in Central, the tires you need, the service you want. Harvey Auto in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you have trusted for years. And Gage in Baton Rouge. Get better connected with Gage. Here's your host, Libra King.
Hi everyone, welcome to the show, the Sports Scouting Report. We've got a great lineup today. Livonia High School, they've done some great things, got great tradition. A lot of great coaches have been at Livonia. Coach Brewerton, Coach Mastretta. Currently, Coach Josh LaBorde is going to be with us, and also his quarterback, Greavis, who's really a great kid. Connor is with us too, and he's actually going to be on first when we come back. You're watching the Sports Scouting Report. Make sure you catch it on YouTube, lafootballmagazine.com, or wherever you get your podcasts. We'll be right back with the starting quarterback for Livonia High School. We'll be right back.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you. If you need a paint job or repairs to your vehicle, go see Medine's Collision Center located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on Kincaid Avenue. The number to call is 357-7983. That's 357-7983. Your Baton Rouge Accident Advisors.
Welcome back. You're watching the Sports Scouting Report. I want to thank a new sponsor of ours, the Bugman. And we're going to have their banner up for this show, and Paul Salvan is the owner. They not only get rid of bugs, but everything, any rodent you can think of, the Bugman out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and you can see the banner with their phone number, and give them a call. They will take care of any of your problems. They even get rid of bees in your house or office, the Bugman. But we're going to go ahead and introduce our first guest, Livonia. It's going to be the Livonia show. Later in the show is the head coach, Josh LaBorde, but we want to introduce the quarterback for Livonia, three-sport athlete, Connor Greavis. Greavis, is it? Greavis. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Man, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
How'd you get number 5? Is that something you want, number 5?
Yes, sir. That's my number in basketball, so I just got it for football.
You keep the same number?
Yes, sir.
Tell everybody your third sport.
Track.
So what do you do in track? A lot of people don't talk about track, but
yeah.
I do.
4x2, long jump, and triple jump.
What are you best at in track?
Long jump.
What can you do? What's your best?
I don't exactly remember, but it was in the 40s.
Okay.
Yeah.
6 foot tall, I'm thinking 180?
160.
160. You
That's
carry it well, though.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
look
sir.
strong, as they say.
Yes, sir.
What's it like being the quarterback at Livonia? Good small town, love football,
Yeah.
great food.
The love is real. It's definitely a new experience for me coming from basketball, because last year was my first year, but I really embraced it. It feels good.
What do you like most about playing quarterback, though, in general? What do you like? I mean, you got to run it sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to tuck it and be a running back.
Knowing where everybody's supposed to be, I'm used to that for basketball, so it kind of fit me for football too.
Coach is very high on your leadership.
Yes, sir.
What do you think of that? What do you think of Coach being so high on that? I mean, that's pretty good.
I don't know. It's just who I am.
You've always been that way early on?
Yes, sir.
When did you starter in varsity? Was it track first or basketball?
Basketball, 8th grade.
8th grade.
Yes, sir.
Wow, you've been starting since 8th grade basketball?
Started 9th grade, but I've been playing since 8th grade.
You started in 9th grade in varsity?
Yes, sir.
That's not easy.
No, it's not.
So as a freshman in basketball,
Yes, sir.
what position did you start at?
Point guard.
As a freshman?
As a freshman.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you go in thinking I'm going to start as a freshman?
No, not even close.
That's hard.
Just want to be the best for the team.
People don't understand. You got to know the plays.
Yeah.
You got to set the
Everything.
offense.
Yes, sir.
It's not just shooting.
Mm-mm.
And you got to be able to shoot.
Yeah, I can do that too.
Can you dunk?
No, not close.
No?
I can grab the rim.
That's good.
Yeah.
You can get some rebounds and stuff for the team.
Yeah, yes, sir.
How tall you think the center will be this year for your team in basketball?
6'4".
Not bad.
Yeah.
Y'all got some other tall guys too?
Yeah, 6'4", 6'3", 6'2", yeah. It's like down the line.
Got some size.
Yes, sir.
So football, y'all got some tall guys, and you got some
Yeah.
tall receivers.
Yes, sir.
Saw you play last year, and y'all got some big linemen. Even the linemen aren't tall are big.
Yes, sir.
But what do you think of the guys coming back? Y'all got a lot of talent coming back.
Oh, we only lost like 5 seniors
Y'all were
last year.
young
Yeah,
last year.
we were. So our senior class is big this year. We have 13.
Yeah.
So, yeah, most of our core is back. So,
Coach even played some ninth graders last year in
yeah,
football.
he did.
A bunch. So what do you think of y'all got a couple of big-time running backs coming back. What do you think of your running backs?
It's a great group of guys, especially John Cato. That's
Big guy.
a horse.
I mean, 6'2", what, 215?
220, I think. Yeah.
Can run.
Yeah, he put the team on his back.
It's a difference maker, man. And what about the receivers? Y'all got some big guys at receiver, too.
Jamarian Hollins, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6'2" at least.
6'2", 180.
What's it like to have all these skill guys around you like
It's
that?
a lot of whipping, so it just like I have so many options to where.
Takes the
Coach-
pressure off of you.
Yes, sir.
And then the O-line,
Screaming.
they're tough guys.
Yeah, very.
But a lot of you guys play defense,
Yeah, we play both ways.
which y'all got to be in shape.
Yes, sir.
So how do y'all train in all season? Is it
Oh,
strong?
a lot. It's grueling, but makes the Fridays easy.
Y'all don't seem to be out of gas, so y'all seem like y'all are used to being able to play
Yes, sir.
the whole game. What's it like to play at Livonia, home stadium?
It's a great feeling. You know, home games always packed. You know,
Great fans,
great fans.
great food.
Yes, great food.
I mean, if you're starving in Livonia, something's wrong. Like
you
if
just-
you're at the game,
You just picky.
yeah. I mean, y'all got like these black pots of jambalaya all over
Yeah.
campus, huh?
Yes, sir.
It looks like it's a jambalaya competition going on, and barbecue. I mean, everywhere.
Yeah, we got a lot of options.
How do y'all know where to go eat once the game's over? I mean, just pick. All right,
Just
I'm gonna go
pick,
check.
Yeah.
Do this.
Mostly we go to the same place, but you know. got a
Look,
lot.
as a visitor to Livonia, you're not going to eat like Lutcher we filmed earlier, but that's a pretty good place.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the best food that people don't talk about is in Livonia.
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
mean, and I'm surprised you stayed 160 after all this food. I mean, but you're strong in the weight room. I know you do a pretty good amount of weight for
Yes, sir.
160.
Yes, sir.
You can run. Tell everybody you run what 4.6, 4.5,
4.7 flat.
but you look faster.
Yes, sir. On the field, definitely.
How you feel about your arm this year compared to last year?
Weight room was very key, so I'm definitely throwing it farther. You know, it's easier coming out.
What do you think of the district?
Uh,
Who do you like playing the most?
I'm ready for all of them, to be honest. We lost what, 8 games last year. I just
some
yeah,
payback. of playing.
payback.
But y'all were young last year. Like
Yeah.
y'all had tons of freshmen play, sophomores,
Yes, sir.
and y'all were playing teams that were mostly seniors.
Yes, sir.
Tell everybody a couple of teams you like to play. I mean, I know they're all tough, but anybody stick out to you that if there's a couple of teams?
Anybody that sticks out? Not really.
All of them?
All of them. I want my revenge for all of them. Revenge
That's
tour.
good. Coach is loving it over here saying, I mean, every win's important, right?
Every win.
Because you want to get seated high in the
Yes,
playoffs.
sir. Starts with Port Bear.
There you go. So you threw one out.
Yes, sir. Week 1.
There you go.
Got to get them ready.
And Port Barry is like a rock throw away. It's not far away. Man, good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
And you're one of the hidden gems in I would say even the Baton Rouge area. It's not far from Baton Rouge. You're not far from Lafayette and not far from New Roads.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can go to Port Barry in 10 minutes if that?
Yeah.
I mean, very close. Good luck to you, man. I mean, glad to have you on. Coach has been talking you up. When you play all out and you play smart.
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to come back with Coach Josh LaBorde, who's the mastermind, the head coach at Livonia, and he's going to have a great young team. We're going to ask him about his team when we come back.
Be sure to take your car and truck for all your tire needs to Tres & Care Tire Company located in Central. Call 331-8144. Family owned and operated. It's 1971. That's 331-8144. Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357. and have the time of your life.
Welcome back, Lee Burkeen, your host, our guest. Livonia, it's the Livonia show. I don't think Livonia gets enough credit because they're not in Baton Rouge, they're not in Lafayette. It's in its own community. It's not far from New Roads. It's not far from Port Barre. It's not far from Opelousas, but Livonia is a great town. I mentioned the food with the quarterback, man, Connor. What a great young man. And Coach, you're following your quarterback. Usually the coach has to but that's a mature kid.
Very, very much so. Great young man. That's why he's leading the group.
Yeah.
He's very unselfish. People underestimate just how intelligent he really is. I heard him say he started point guard as a ninth grader because he knew everything was going on, and within a couple of weeks he knew our whole offense better even than some of my coaches.
Yeah,
he knows where everybody's supposed to be, how it's supposed to be ran.
Well, you don't always have a quarterback like that.
No.
Some people are looking for a quarterback.
Right, and I mean, some people may say, "Oh, he's a small guy," but he's an extremely intelligent guy. He's very unselfish.
And runs your offense too.
He can run it any which way you want. That's why he started at point guard since the ninth grade, because he knew the whole offense for it.
So we're going to go backwards with Coach Josh LaBorde, and I've known Josh, the name. I think I met him in the hallways. He actually got me to the coach's office one time at Port Allen, way back. But it started, I mean, you've been at West Feliciana, they call West Felice, or what are they?
Westfell.
And I mean, you've been in a few places to get your experience.
Not many, but just to put in my time with it. I graduated from Port Allen. And then got on the coaching staff in 2003 as a college student, CECP, and spent my time just learning the ropes. I've actually seen the thing change, but we were doing VHS changes for films before Huddle.
I remember that.
Spent 12 years there, 10 of them working for Guy Blanchard, a dear friend of mine, and then left there. At Port Allen, I was also a special teams coordinator and then became the offensive coordinator. Left there and got to go join Rob Odom at West Feliciana for 5 years, where I became the defensive coordinator.
Ferguson, we got to mention. Condolences to the family of Ferguson from West Feliciana with the Ravens passed away. You were there when he was there. You missed that point?
I just missed
the Ferguson brothers.
The Ferguson brothers, and actually Al had his younger brother was on the state championship team. RJ was our corner when we won state, and just good people, great ball players, and good young men. It's just absolutely heartbreaking for him.
Unbelievable, man. He holds the sack record at Louisiana Tech. Was just starting to kick in with his career too.
Right.
At the age of 26, 25, or 24, early 20s.
Right.
Coach, Wikipedia didn't give me any names, but I knew the famous football player, Stephen Guidry.
Stephen Guidry.
And I always said he was Randy Moss coming out of Livonia.
Oh, very good athlete.
Had to go junior college, but ended up Mississippi State. Great career.
With the Cowboys.
Cowboys, yeah. Tall, can run.
Move around. They've had a lot of really good athletes. Got to coach against Stephen. He was with those teams they had, even with Patrick Queen.
Former quarterback at Tech, was at Tech.
C.J. Powell.
C.J. Powell, look, and Coach knows this, but a guy that's maybe 5'6", maybe 140, but ran like a 4.4 and looked like a 4.0.
Extremely good athlete. Willie Baker.
Baker of Tech, DN.
They've just had numerous guys when they had a run come through, and just great athletes. And I mean, even had guys that even went on to like Millsaps, Owen Thompson, who played O-line there. List goes on and on.
Yeah, and the coaching fraternity's kind of been built the last 15 years. It started with, Brewerton, Mastretta. I mean, a lot of in the state championship game with was it Brewerton?
Brewerton went in 13. That's when they dropped it in overtime, and then Mastretta went the undefeated season
and won it
in 14.
Yeah, people forget about that. That's a lot of history in the last few years.
Oh yes.
And then it's been a young team, and you've had some young teams starting out at
very very young. I'm the crazy first-time head coach. I take it over in the middle of a COVID pandemic. I took over in July of 2020, and has been trying to build the program back and get more kids to come back out and play. And last year, we didn't just start freshmen. We even had looked up sometimes and had 7th and 8th graders on the field. We're 7th through 12th high school.
Wow.
But we were going to take our lumps.
Yeah.
Connor last year, That was his first year ever playing football.
We're going to take a break, but I remember on the phone, me and you talking 3 months ago, you played a lot of 8th graders and 9th graders last year.
Yes, sir.
And that's going to pay off this year. We're going to come back with more. Coach LaBorde from Livonia High School. We'll be right back.
Gage has served Louisiana for over 40 years. Let Gage create a custom tailored solution for your business and become your partner in technology. Give them a call today at 225-753-4243 and help your business get better connected with Gage.
What does that bug man do?
Not only do we do pest control, we do odor control, bat removal, moisture control, rodents, and of course, bed bug control. Give the bug man a call. We get them before they get you.
Welcome back. Lieber Keene, your host of Sports Scouting Report. Our guest is Josh LaBorde, the head coach of Livonia High School. 3rd year. Like the coach said, he entered in COVID, man, and made it through. And still, and this is the first year that he's had guys come back to back that are returning. A lot of guys, you got a lot of young, raw talent that this is the year for a lot of these guys.
It's something. We got a good character group. Yeah. That's the most important thing. Guys like Connor and some of the other seniors, Antonio Molas, Kendall Houston. I mean, they're just great young men that are just leading by example.
Program guys.
Very much. Alex Sandoval, love the kid. They're just there every day. They're going to put in the work. They're going to put in time, and they're going to show the young guys behind them how it's supposed to be done.
And Kendall's one of those guys, typical high school lineman. That's a great player. Not even maybe 6 foot, maybe 240, 245. But just brings it.
Comes every day with a lunch pill. And going to my 3rd year, I don't think he's missed a day. Workouts, practice. I'm
glad you brought that out. That's going to make him happy, and I know he deserves that mention.
Very much.
State championships at Livonia, and this is 6- and 8-man football. But this was quite a run, Coach. 1956, 58, 62, 1963, 64, and 65 won state championships in 6- and 8-man football and the 1 state title in varsity LHSA 2014.
Yes, sir.
But I have to throw those out. I mean, that was quite a little run for Livonia.
It was. I even did the research myself and had brand new signs made for them because that is part of our history.
Yeah.
We got to embrace that and be proud of it.
6-man football, when you hear that, people go, "Ooh." Well, that's the same 6 playing offense and defense too, and that means you don't have some positions on the field.
Oh yeah.
And you don't have many running backs and receivers, and maybe a half of an O-line when you're playing 6-man.
It'd be hard to really imagine.
How do you put 6? Yeah, I mean, as a coach, that's
putting the right 6.
Right, the right 6, and then they're going to play defense because you play in 6 because you don't have enough players. That's why you're in 6 or 8-man football.
Correct.
Your district, Coach, tough district.
Very tough. A lot of talent. It's really not an off week. It really isn't. I mean, even Bo Shane, historically very talented. Last year they started building it up. Coach Lewis over there is doing a really good job with them. Opelousas.
Oh, they're super talented.
Speed all over the field. Very, very well coached.
Huge team.
Very big. I would say beautiful when they come off the bus. Cecilia has really kind of caught their stride. They went to the quarters last year, and then Bro Bridge got so much tradition, and they just hired in a new coach. Very interested to see how they're going to come out.
And you got the Port Barrys of the world, like your quarterback mentioned. They're not bad.
No, everybody can get you. This is kind of like the old saying: any given Sunday was any given Friday.
It's kind of like when you were at West Baton Rouge, Port Allen, Bruley, Plaquemine, Port Allen, White Castle.
All right there down LA1.
Bam, bam, bam. St. John at one time.
Yes.
And they're getting to be a little more competitive. It's been a while, but they're starting to get their numbers back a little bit. Coach, you were at Port Allen for your graduate from there. I remember Gary Atkins, the late Gary Atkins, that was there. He was a special guy. And then Tommy Minton was over there. A lot of guys started out at Port Allen.
Well, that's what I played for Gary my freshman sophomore year. That was his last 2 years there, and then played for Paul DeStefano. That was his first. That was his first tenure as a head coach, and both of them very different, but both extremely a lot of fun. I do anything for those 2 men, and they set different paths, but it's still great paths for that school, and it was learned a lot from them just in both extremes.
Yeah, the greatest player I've ever seen come out of Port Allen did not play college ball. Brandon Williams.
PJ. He was a year ahead of me. I played 3 of my years.
Wasn't he a great player?
Oh, man, unbelievable.
Signed with Nick Saban and LSU and didn't play a down, didn't ever enroll.
It just didn't work out. But phenomenal athlete.
Phenomenal
to this
player.
day, we have actually brought different athletes to Alabama.
Yeah.
And when Saban finds out from Port Allen, he even mentions it. You know, that's one of the best athletes ever recruited. Like,
He was 6'2", 210, ran a 4.4.
Easy.
Linebacker or safety.
Wherever you wanted him.
Would have been LaRon Landry, but Port Allen has had a bunch of great players. Remember during that era they had a tight end that was 6'5", 250.
Skylar Anderson.
Wow, he was big, good player.
And then Tracy Porter.
Come
played
up
the
through.
Saints. He had to beg him to, he wasn't going to play.
Indiana University, remember?
Indiana, yep.
Last minute.
Very last minute because he didn't have any film.
If I'm not mistaken, Jared DiNardo signed him.
Yes, he did. Sure did.
Isn't that crazy?
Very much.
The former LSU coach, his next job's Indiana, and he goes sign.
That was my first year on staff. I was a young CECP when Tracy was a senior.
Unbelievable. We're going to take a break and we'll be back with Josh LaBorde. We're going to talk a little more history, and then we're going to get into his team a little bit more. He's got a lot of good players coming back. He's got some under-the-radar guys. If they have good seasons, they might can go D1 or 1AA in the end. We'll be right back.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you. If you need a paint job or repairs to your vehicle, go see Medine's Collision Center located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on Kincaid Avenue. The number to call is 357-7983. That's 357-7983. Your Baton Rouge Accident Advisors.
Welcome back. Lee Burkeen, your host. Again, I want to thank the Bugman for joining in and all our sponsors, Gage, Gross Savon, all our sponsors that are part of our show. We wouldn't have a show if we didn't have people sponsor it. We've got our Livonia's our show today. You heard the quarterback earlier, and now you've been hearing the coach. Coach LaBorde, we talked about Port Allen, talked about your West Feliciana days. You went to Port Allen High School, talked about all the stuff. You're at Livonia now, came in COVID, we talked about that, building it up. Talk about some of the other guys, Cato and some of the other guys that you have that look the part, and this is their year to really
I think
shine.
You kind of said it yourself best. Cato's one of those very typical under the radar. I mean, he's a big kid. He's very athletic.
Looks like a player in a uniform.
He is, absolutely. Don't just look at he can play.
Yeah.
He's playing everything from running back to linebacker. He's our deep snapper, which I know is hard to find to get recruited.
Yeah.
Hard worker, good leader. I'm trying to find ways to get him off the field some because he's on it. He's on everything.
Running back, linebacker. I mean, and muscled up, lean. 6'2", 220, lean. Very,
very lean. And good kid. And that's what I love about him. He leads the chant and warm-ups. He's going to make sure the kids are out of the locker room.
Yeah.
He probably could fix your lunch for you if you ask him to.
and it might end up being an SEC guy because y'all had a receiver last year that I was pumping. I don't know if I got credit for it, but I was pumping him hard. And I know Nichols came in and took him.
Nichols jumped late, trailing Whaley.
6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, 6'5", almost pushing 6'6". Just
220 now?
Yeah, he
Can
just
run?
came out and just visited, and he's starting to really bloom now. He's in a college program, but he was another one. Really didn't. He played football in his early years, but he really didn't buy in until his junior year when I first got there. Had to beg him to come.
But you got guys like that.
Those under the radar,
Yeah.
no one knows about. And it was hard to get trailing sign because I actually had coaches say, Coach, he should have 20 offers. Well, that's why he doesn't have 20 offers because y'all are scared to offer.
Right.
Great grades.
Break it. Let's start it.
And Coach Rebo and them jumped all over.
I saw him on film for you as a junior. I was like, whoa. Just like Stephen Guidry. We wrote about Stephen, and then he didn't get anything till late. But you've got a couple other guys. You got a couple of unique receivers that play DB.
Jamarian Hollins, I think
good-looking kid.
Absolute. He's playing receiver and DB. He's probably Division I DB. He has great just footwork skills and moving ball skills. But he's another. He's going to play returner. He's going to be out there. You're going to find ways to give him the ball.
Everything with the water boy and the mascot probably. You got a couple other running backs unique.
Yes, we rotate guys in. C.J. Johnson is more that smaller, kind of like the Clyde Edwards-Helaire guy, that short stature. knows how to read the blocks,
Yeah.
knows how to stay behind them. Even Joe Hutchinson's kind of been starting to move in from receiver to running back. We moving him through there. Jalen Knoll, D-line and lineman. So that's kind of a different little flavor
where you
we
need
can
him.
add. Yeah.
And then you got a tall DN that's, if he puts the weight on, could be really good.
That's his only height. He just ain't got much weight. It was Uriah Moore.
Yeah.
He was second on team in tackles last year. And for his position, he's really quick. And he also plays some tight end when we need him to.
If this team stays healthy.
That's the key. I hate saying it because that's the kind of thing that
don't mean to jinx you. Don't mean to jinx you.
We knock on wood every chance we can give. They're just a good group of kids. We've had a lot of fun all off season.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of good times. We were able to do a lot early on in practice, and so we're really looking forward to what this team can do.
I like how you're reunited with Guy Blanchard from Port Allen. You brought him in.
Dear friend of mine. Nothing really changed. I mean, we work together so well. When he took the job at Port Allen back in 2005, and he took me in and he showed me a lot.
Full energy.
Always.
You got to like Guy's energy.
Always.
And if you don't know Guy and you're around him, then it means you were invisible because he's going to talk to you.
Absolutely. He'll find something to talk about, something to comment. He is a Cowboys fan. I can't hold that against him.
I didn't know that.
Oh, huge
I'm
Cowboys fan.
I'm not a Cowboys fan. That's
Neither am I. He makes sure everybody knows he's a Cowboys fan.
He's a pro Cowboys fan.
Very much. But I love it about it because he's just going to let you know he's very genuine.
Yeah.
He's very loyal, and that's what you got to have with people on your staff. And I got a great staff this year, and he's just a.
Now the show goes to North Louisiana. And I will say this for all our Cowboy fans in North Louisiana because it goes to Shreveport and Bossier City. I'm a Dak Prescott fan because he's from Houghton, Louisiana. Now, I know he played at Mississippi State. And he beat LSU in Tiger Stadium.
I know it's hard to say that, but yeah.
But he's a Louisiana boy, so I'll only pull for Dallas, but I'll pull for him.
I completely agree with that.
But I'm not a fan of the Cowboy, and I never had been. I was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan growing up. I
grew up the Saints fan with, I remember the paper bag days, and so I've kind of been able to, in my adult life, been able to really enjoy.
I'm a Saints fan every week as long as they don't play Pittsburgh.
Oh, I understand that.
Yeah, and now they have Jarvis Landry, they got Tyrann Mathieu, they got Gerald Hawkins from West St. Mary and LSU.
A lot of fun to watch.
They got and then Tommy Clapp's son just signed with another team. They had Clapp on offensive line, William Clapp.
Yeah.
So they're getting some LSU players. They're smart. Finally, huh, Coach?
Finally. I just love seeing it because that's where I really keep a lot of loyalty to is following the LSU guys. Or if anyone I coach, like what Tracy played or Andre Howard played for the Texans.
We're going to take a break. We're going to have some fun in the next segment, too. Let's throw out LSU guys from around the NFL and see what you think.
Okay.
We'll have some fun. There's a bunch of them. We'll be right back with more of the Sports Scouting Report with our head coach from Livonia, Josh LaBorde. We'll be right back.
Be sure to take your car and truck for all your tire needs to Trez & Care Tire Company located in Central. Call 331-8144. Family owned and operated. It's 1971. That's 331-8144. Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life.
Welcome back. I hope you're enjoying the show. Livonia is in the house. We've had the quarterback Connor Greavis, right?
Yes,
I finally said it right, man. People butcher my name all the time. They say Brecken, Brasheen. It's Burkeen, but that's okay. Just call me Lee. Coach Livonia, we talk about your team. We talk about some of the great players that have come out of your team. We talk about your coaching career. Let's have fun and talk about LSU football players in the NFL. So I'm just going to randomly think in my head of a team. Atlanta. You used to have Russell Gage. He's not there anymore. Isn't that crazy?
Right. And we actually coached against Russell.
Russell at Redemptors.
Yep.
And Guy was on the team, the staff.
We were at Port Allen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we played against him, and he beat us.
Isn't that crazy? He wasn't drafted.
Oh, just
got to be happy for him.
Very much so. He's a good athlete. You could tell he was a good leader for that team also.
He caught more balls last year for Atlanta than Julio Jones.
Did he really?
Isn't that crazy?
I didn't even know
Julio
that.
was hurt a few games, but still.
Still a fact.
Big time. Miami Dolphins, Ferguson, deep snapper from LSU. He's one of the top long snappers in the league from LSU, the Ferguson brothers. The other one's with the Bills.
Yep.
You ever heard of two brothers in the NFL from one college starting as long snappers? So I think it's probably the only school in the NFL like
probably
that.
So, because that's a unique trait. It's a hard skill to learn.
Devon Gottschall was a Dolphin. He's now a Patriot.
Plaquemine High School, played for my coach DeStefano.
See, all these are connected. And he's probably the most famous NFL guy besides Mitchell, the former quarterback at Plaquemine, who played 13 years in the NFL.
He went to Tennessee, didn't
Mitchell went to USL.
USL
Right. Back in the day. And then, speaking of the Patriots, Jalen Mills, former LSU DB from DeSoto, Texas.
Wow. Yeah, you can start rattling off a bunch of them really fast.
Yeah. Speaking of the Saints, what do you think of Matthew, Gerald Hawkins, and now Jarvis Landry?
I think it just brings a different dynamic because I'm big about where your heart is.
Yeah.
You know, if you put your heart into something,
more,
it means a little bit more. These guys have always been extreme competitors. Now they're trying to put a little bit more into it because it means a little more. This is home. This is where I'm from.
If Guy Blanchard's watching, I'm glad Jarvis didn't become a Cowboy. or the Honey Badger. I'd be really conflicted.
Oh, because he would have made sure to let us know. That's
right,
for sure.
Right. Dallas, speaking of them, Lyle Collins is no longer a Cowboy. He's a Bengal for the Joe Burrow.
Oh, wow. They're just really adding on to some more LSU.
He's recruiting his
I've started really following him, too, because it's fun to watch. See, I really enjoy watching Chase play. I think he's a phenomenal athlete out there, just a nose for the football.
Jamar Rommel was unbelievable, wasn't he, in high school?
Oh, my goodness.
And then you'd look at hanging on. Moss is still a tight end in the Cincinnati practice squad.
He's still there. He's really close to breaking through, I think.
Tyler Shelvin's a D lineman from Notre Dame Crowley and Northside. He's actually going to compete for a starting spot this year, Coach.
Yes, indeed.
So it's going to be the all LSU Bengals team.
That's why the Tigers, huh?
Speaking of Livonia, we can't leave this name out. The Ravens, Queen, linebacker. Patrick Queen, man, he's representing Livonia
He's
big
doing
time.
a great job with it, and he's actually the last two springs he's come and hosted a free camp for the youth. Just comes in. The last 2 years, been over 300 kids.
Yeah.
And he brings in a bunch of big names. He even brought in guys like Christian Harris. You know, even though he was at Alabama, but he brings in guys. He brought in guys from the Olympic training, and does it for free for our community. He's still giving back. His parents, Mr. and Miss Queen, they're always around. Yeah. So it still means a whole bunch. He still has a home in New Road, so he's right there up the road.
Patrick Queen, we can't leave out Patrick Queen of Livonia. You know what people don't remember? You know this. But Patrick Queen was a running back at Livonia.
Running back, middle linebacker.
But he became a linebacker because Dave Aranda said, you look like a linebacker for our level.
Exactly.
And I remember Queen probably had to say, I don't know about that, right? And he had to talk him into it.
They did a little bit of it, but I know from when we talked about it, he just wanted to play ball. Just wanted to play ball. He was just doing what he had to do, just what you try to tell every kid to do. And that's why it's great when he comes back and sees the kids and sees the guys, he brings that same energy. That you're here to try to help your team win games.
It's not easy playing in that division with the Steelers and now the Bengals to be a linebacker in that league.
He got to kind of.
You got to tackle Harris from Alabama with the Steelers, and you got those big backs in Cleveland from Georgia. Grubb is there, and all those guys. Speaking of Cleveland, all the Cleveland LSU guys left. Beckham left, so he's a Ram. Jarvis left.
Super Bowl.
But you got Grant Delpit, who's a safety.
Right, he sure is.
And then you've got a linebacker there from LSU, and you've got a couple other ones, but it's no longer the Browns LSU. It's more the Cincinnati Bengals LSU. But we're going to take a break. We got one more segment. We'll continue on talking a little pro ball, and then whatever Coach wants to talk about. We got Coach LaBorde from Livonia High School. We'll be right back.
Gage has served Louisiana for over 40 years. Let Gage create a custom-tailored solution for your business and become your partner in technology. Give them a call today at 225-753-4243 and help your business get better connected with Gage.
What does a bug man do?
Not only do we do pest control, we do odor control, bat removal, moisture control, rodents, and of course, bed bug control. Give the bug man a call. We get them before they get you.
Welcome back, Lee Burkeen, the Sports Scouting Report. We've got Coach Josh LaBorde back, Livonia head coach, Port Allen High School Pelican graduate. Let's throw that out right now. He was at West Feliciana for a while. with Coach Odom, one of the great coaches. Glad to see that he won a state title before he retired.
We had a lot of fun. That's when you try to take something from everybody. And Rob was a great man. He had a great energy, and he brought in some new school ideas, but he kept the old school to being physical, bringing that energy to the game every week, and those kids just bought into it, and we had a lot of fun.
Half of his senior class signed with Louisiana Tech.
And Joe Sloan. Joe was there, and every other day.
He was in love with all those guys.
He made sure.
That was a special team. They beat a special Jennings team with Trevor Etienne to get to the state championship.
Yeah, we beat them in the semis.
That was special.
It was a lot of fun. That era of that, the 2016 and 2017 teams. In 2016, we actually lost to Coach Jenkins.
So let's have some fun for the older guys. And I'm going to go back to the 70s, and Coach will go to his era. I'm going to go to my era. But I'm going to throw out some of my favorite teams. I'm not going to throw out a year, maybe just an era like 70s or 80s. But I go back. I'm a Steelers fan from the 70s. The 80s, it was kind of rough. But in the 70s to about 79, the Steelers won 4 Super Bowls, 4 out of 4, with Terry Bradshaw, Mean Joe Green, Jack Ham, Jack Lambert, L.C. Greenwood, Franco Harris, Rocky Bleier, go on and on and on. And then the 49ers, I became a fan with Montana, and then Steve Young and Dwight Clark, the miracle catch over the Cowboys.
Bill Walsh,
the mastermind of the West Coast offense. But I was and I was always a Saints fan, but they weren't winning back then.
We went through it because that was my youth. I'm a little bit behind. I was born in the 80s.
Yeah.
But I remember coming up. My favorite player was Martin Anderson.
Oh,
it seemed like anytime Saints could
he
win a game,
played 40 years.
Anytime they win a game, he was kicking a field goal. I even loved Jim Everett back then. Loved watching him. He played with a lot of energy because he got beat up a little bit. Sam Mills,
Remember the fight on TV with Everett and one of the
Jim Rome.
Jim Rome. They got into
called
a
him
duking.
Chris Everett.
They called him Chris Everett. He punched him on air.
I think that made me a little more of a fan because he was on
Tough
standby
guy.
and he was a tough guy.
And Everett started with the Rams back in the day with Dickerson and all those guys.
Oh, that was a stud.
That was a stud. And then you had
I was a Dolphins fan because I was a huge Dan Marino fan.
I was too. I was a Bob Greasy one before him.
Oh, yeah, that was before me.
And they had a guy named A.J. Dewey that played at LSU from reserve, Louisiana, defensive end, and the Blackwood brothers. I was a fan, believe it or not. I'm going old school here. I was a San Diego Chargers fan. They'd never won a Super Bowl. Dan Fouts, who's now the color guy for the Chargers, he threw for 50,000 yards and 300 touchdowns. Nobody remembers him.
No.
But my era does because he was like the greatest guy that never won one and never played for one. But they had 4 receivers that might end up in the Hall of Fame. One was Kellen Winslow Sr., who still is the best tight end I think that ever played the game, over Gronk, over Tony Gonzalez, over all those guys.
See, I love Tony Gonzalez, and I thought he was just one of the best of it because he would do we're kind of getting away from the tight end that blocks.
Yeah.
And back then he would still make that block on the powers and the counters and stuff and still get out in the flat and make a catch.
So my last one, and I want you to end it with all your favorites, but the one team that I've never been a fan of, but I respect them, but I've just never been a fan, is the Patriots. But I respect them, like I respect Belichick and Brady and Kevin Falk played there, Jarvis Green, Donaldsonville. I mean,
Yeah.
But I was never a fan of the Patriots.
See, I actually did become more because of Belichick. It was just the attention to detail. I guess now that being a coach,
I respect that.
Being a coach and is understanding that just minute details that it means so much to it, and nothing is worth overlooking. Making sure everything is in play. It's where if practice, if mouthpiece is out, that's a penalty. And that's what's going to happen in the game. Where if you just take care of every little part.
Yeah.
That's why I was always a huge fan and still am to this day because he still, even though you don't have time, still finds a way to win games.
I respect the you-know-what out of Belichick.
Right.
I know you're a Dolphins fan, the Dupers and the Marinos and all those guys. Who else did you like in the NFL growing up?
The old Saints. I just love the Saints. I even had a Ricky Williams shirt.
Remember the helmet interview when he didn't take the helmet off?
Yeah, I do. And the picture on the front of the magazine, him in the wedding dress.
Remember Mike Ditka giving up the whole draft for him?
Yes, I do.
Was that
Saints
crazy?
fan really does remember
that.
It was nuts.
And Ditka had a bar in like Chicago at the same time, and
that's
he was a cool coach. And
it made it so special. Then when we finally won, and especially Tracy, who I actually went to school with, and he was on the team that first year I was on the staff. It was his senior year. It was that whole special connection to it. It was awesome.
So how did you feel? I know you're not from New Orleans, and I know it felt incredible for them winning a Super Bowl. But Randall Gay, being from Bruley, was on that team.
Randall Gay we actually had a huge parade after it. It was Randall Gay and Tracy Porter. We had a huge parade through the town of Port Allen and everything, and just seeing the people that came out of the woodworks for
Unbelievable,
that
huh?
was awesome. We haven't had shirts that said, every saint in heaven, we have ours here in town.
Did you go celebrate after in New Orleans like a lot of people did?
No, we didn't go to New Orleans. I was actually a head softball coach at the time, so I had to go to practice the next day.
You couldn't go. You need to get some sleep.
Needed to get some sleep, but just relished in it because again, going through those days that it was real tough to being a fan and now getting to celebrate.
My favorite Saints player of all time was Sam Mills, late Sam Mills, linebacker.
Awesome.
5'8", 220 pounds, and All-Pro 8 times.
You gotta love it, 5'8", man. Just
not drafted. He was with Vaughn Johnson, Pat Swilling, all those great linebackers. The Dome Patrol, and Ricky Jackson. What a linebacking core, huh?
That was awesome.
And their D-line was pretty good. I hope the Saints can keep it going. They just need some quarterback play.
I think they're going to be okay.
Winston, he just stay healthy, right?
Stay healthy.
Otherwise, you're relying on a rookie or a free agent if he doesn't.
Yeah, that's what happened last year.
So, or if the rookie from Notre Dame improves and they don't cut him in the preseason, we'll see what that. We got preseason games this Thursday.
Yes, they actually play
all
this
night long. So, if you're an NFL fan, I hope you enjoyed the last 2 segments. Coach, thanks for joining us.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
Look, man, we want to get Livonia on the map outside of Livonia. We got all the big names thrown out there, and Stephen Guidry, Patrick Queen, all the coaches, yourself, now the head coach.
We're just doing what we can.
Be sure to catch us on YouTube. Go to our website, lafootballmagazine.com. You can go wherever you get your podcasts or go to Podbean. That's where we have our show hosted. Or on Twitter. You can check me out or follow me on Twitter if you want to, @LeBreKeen. That's @LeBreKeen. If you can't spell it, it's right behind me, I think. So you can spell it right there or right here. But I hope everybody has a great week. We'll see everybody soon.
Thanks for listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with LeBreKeen.